You can get pretty much, you can rent pretty much anything or borrow it if you want these days. People rent their cars, their homes, their pools, even their Wi-Fi. It's big business. Researchers estimate the industry could grow to $1.3 trillion over the next 2 years. That's 4 times as much as in 2019. But what happens when somebody rents your car and you never get it back? Turns out that's a serious problem. Here's CNBC's Andrea Day.
Midnight in L.A., and you're watching a couple sneaking onto someone's property to steal back their Mercedes.
I was in shock, honestly. We really didn't know whose house this was.
That house, about 30 minutes away from where they live. They tracked their white Mercedes here after renting it out to a guy on the peer-to-peer car rental app called Turo.
The trip was in total 8 days.
But the night before the car was to be returned, the renter sent a message saying he rented it to someone else, and that person isn't responding.
We didn't give them permission to rent the car for anyone else.
My immediate first reaction was, we're going to get the car.
They posted the heist on TikTok with 4.5 million views and counting.
It went ridiculously viral.
And here's what the car looked like inside.
And there was like floor mats from like a Honda Civic. You could tell that someone had gotten really comfortable in the car.
But most shocking, says the couple, the renter didn't rent the car to someone else. He sold it.
I was in shock, honestly.
According to the LAPD, the Mercedes was actually sold on Craigslist for $34,000 to an unsuspecting buyer. Police have identified a suspect and say he's done this before at least twice. The case still ongoing.
The fact that we were able to get the car back with no damage, really no issues, is truly amazing.
And she says they'll keep renting out cars, even though it's not the first time something like this has happened.
When we first started the business back in December, someone tried to keep one of our cars, and that's how we learned that we have to absolutely have trackers.
3 o'clock in the afternoon in Phoenix, Arizona, and Ahmad Abdallah was starting to get nervous.
That's when I knew something was really wrong.
He says he rented his Volvo XC90 to a woman who claimed she was taking her daughter to Tucson for the weekend. But when he checked the tracker, the car was traveling suspiciously close to the Mexican border.
I could see her getting further and further south, closer and closer to the border, despite my text message that I had sent her telling her that the car would be reported stolen if it crossed the border.
When the car kept going, he says, he called police and gave them its location.
After they started following the driver, and they pulled him over.
CNBC has confirmed with the Arizona Department of Public Safety that Ahmad's Volvo was used to pick up 6 undocumented immigrants. And according to Border Patrol, people picked up at that border area are then typically smuggled deeper into the U.S.
We as Border Patrol have seen a big increase on peer-to-peer car rentals being utilized for human smuggling. So this is very dangerous.
Border Patrol agent Jesus Basabilbaso showed us these images of recent human smuggling busts.
Some of the times we can get 3 to 4 a day.
And behind the dangerous trend, he says, big money.
The cartels and the smuggling organizations are hiring people to go and pick up people down at the border area. The smugglers are being recruited through social media. They'll put out messages out there that they can get paid all the way from $1,500 a person all the way to $20,000 a trip.
We reached out to Turo and were told, quote, although these incidents are very uncommon, we do offer vehicle owners protection plans that cover vehicle damage or theft. And so far in 2022, over 2 million trips have taken place. 99.9% ended without any significant incidents.
I won't rent my vehicles out this close to the border because it's just too risky.
And Shep, Jesus from Border Patrol says if you do decide to rent out your car, make sure it has a tracking device either built into the car or use a tracker like an Apple AirTag and hide it somewhere in the car. That way, if it does disappear, you can reach out to police and let them know where it is.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.